Let's move on to the allegations against Rudy Giuliani, very serious allegations against Rudy Giuliani. I'm reading from a Politico article here. A former employee of Giuliani's is suing him for $10 million over allegations of sexual assault and harassment, wage theft, and, quote, other misconduct, including several instances that were recorded, according to a complaint filed Monday. Noelle Dunphy, the employee bringing the lawsuit, was hired by Giuliani in January of 2019. She said it was an opportunity that was, quote, too good to pass up, but then that the offers were, quote, a sham, motivated by Giuliani's desire to, quote, pursue a sexual relationship with Dunphy, and the abuse began, quote, almost immediately, she alleges. This is a 70-page filing. It has multiple accusations of sexual harassment, sexual assault, including, as Politico says, accusations that Giuliani forced Dunphy to perform oral sex on him in his Upper East Side apartment. And while he took phone calls, Giuliani aggressively pursued a sexual relationship with Dunphy, the filing says, and made clear that satisfying his sexual demands was a requirement of her job. He continually pressured her into sex and was unconcerned about whether Dunphy had given consent, the complaint says. Politico goes on. Giuliani did not respond to requests for comment, but a spokesperson told the AP that the former mayor, quote, vehemently denied the allegations. Now, I think I want to also mention that with all of the sexual stuff, he also, in the filing, is accused of going on, quote, alcohol-drenched rants that included sexist, racist, and anti-Semitic remarks, and there are recordings of those, according to the
recordings
filing.
are the podcasts and the TV,
there are those.
the TV shows where he would do those live. Yes, I believe that there are recordings of those. They're on YouTube, probably.
Well, if you see them in public, imagine in private what those recordings could potentially be.
Private. Like the lawsuit included footage from that Borat film, where he's, everybody's seen this one, I'm sure, where he's lying on a bed and saying that this is basically a recreation of what he was doing with her on a regular basis. The big debate that I've seen about this is Giuliani more wretched than people thought, or is this expected from Giuliani? Like that seems to me to be the only question that's left open by a lot of this stuff, except for the kind of sideways allegation of a major crime that involves President Trump that hasn't gotten much attention, which I think says a lot about our politics as well. She alleges that Rudy Giuliani and Trump were selling pardons for $2 million and that they were splitting the money. And he said to her, if you know anybody that needs a pardon, that's what it costs. Send them directly to me. Obviously, do not go through the pardon office because that creates a paper trail. We're just going to do this back channel. And the thing here is, A, that's the most believable allegation you could ever possibly come up with. B, Rudy Giuliani is the least credible witness in any case. Is he just saying something because he thinks it's going to impress his assistant?
Right.
Or is this a real thing? If it is, it seems like it would be the easiest thing to prove. All you have to do is find $1 million transactions, $2 million transactions moving around between Giuliani and Trump and people who got pardoned, because we know who got pardoned.
I think that's the thing is with Rudy Giuliani, especially if he's going on, what's the exact quote here, alcohol-drenched rants. Is he spinning his wheels on his own? It seems unlikely to me that Donald Trump, whatever you think of him, would be dumb enough to put a $2 million price tag on a bribe and then say, Rudy, go sell these. It sounds more plausible to me that Rudy was just selling these because he's clearly been, I think, impaired
ripping
by...
off Trump, too.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think he's clearly been impaired by the disease of alcoholism. You can see it pretty plainly. It appears that way. We don't know him. We're not in his head. We're not personal acquaintances or friends of Rudy Giuliani, obviously.
You could probably call him and ask him.
You could definitely call him and ask him. But you can see it pretty plainly in public, what appears to be constant impairment from alcohol in public spaces, and to the extent where he doesn't have a lot of control over what he's saying. I think Rudy Giuliani has undergone a pretty tragic arc.
What an incredible arc, yeah.
Yeah, just an incredibly tragic arc happening before the public. And now other people apparently were caught up and are damaged, collateral damage in that journey that Rudy Giuliani has been on. And so as this goes to court, as this is litigated, I expect we will learn more and more about these allegations. I expect we'll have pretty good, if there are recordings, we'll have it. The Borat recording is actually kind of interesting because the media took some out of context framing that was served up to it on a silver platter by Amazon. And then when you watch the full thing, it was like, I mean, Rudy Giuliani's clearly not in a good state of mind, but what you're saying it is isn't exactly what it is. So who knows what the deal is with these recordings? But if they are coming out so aggressively in this filing and they say that the recordings exist, that leads me to believe that they probably have something there. So this could go in a pretty bad direction for Rudy Giuliani.
Yet, in 2 years, he could be best friends with the President of the United States.
And remember, he's at the center of the Hunter Biden laptop story. And so there's all kinds of implications, not just for Trump, but for like American politics, period, as we get closer to whatever the truth is about Rudy Giuliani's both personal and professional life here. There's a lot of stuff actually on the line, whether it's bribes, more allegations about what it was like being in Trump's orbit, more allegations about somebody who was in Trump's orbit, perhaps acting on behalf of the president or not, but perhaps acting on behalf of the president, saying ridiculous things. And Rudy Giuliani, what's the timeline? How does it mash up with the laptop timeline? Because Rudy Giuliani is the guy who had the laptop.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Sagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.